All right, Kate, more Gen Z and millennials say they feel most like themselves online than offline. Meaning they're feeling more empowered to be themselves online than offline.
Probably most of their life has been spent online than offline, right?
I guess it depends. Gen Z and millennials, remember you and I are geriatric millennials after all.
Oh, yeah. What am I thinking of?
Gen Z and maybe Gen Y is millennials, isn't it? I don't know what you're thinking of.
Okay, I'm thinking of the younger generation, but okay.
So Gen Z is probably what you're thinking of.
Okay.
So where do you feel most like yourself was the question. And then Gen Z said 46% said online, 40% said offline. Millennials, 49% online, 39% offline, and then it starts switching. Gen X, 30% online, 52% offline. And finally, boomers feel most like themselves, 10% say online, 71% say offline. And I feel like you might think, okay, boomer, yeah, right, 10%. But I don't know. You've been in your Facebook. Have you seen what the boomer relatives have been posting? And you're like, oh, turns out that's who they are. Right?
Some. I think that's broad.
Mm-hmm.
A broad statement.
No, that's fair.
But, yeah.
So what about you, Kate? Do you feel most like yourself online or offline?
Probably offline.
Yeah.
I'm not on, I don't know. Aside from like the Facebook posts about my family and like what's happening in our foursome of family, like I'm not really like living a life online. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Maybe I've mentioned this before on the show that Facebook is where you go to, like most people try to curate what they would like the world to see them as. And then on Twitter is who they actually are. I know I've heard like that analogy before. And I could see if you're younger, maybe you're feeling like you've got to put a facade on, like at school or something like that, maybe. But then when you go online and you've self-selected into a friends group, that maybe you feel more empowered to be yourself there. That's my best guess on that.
Yeah, I think I definitely think that's a good guess. I don't think I live enough online. Even in like communities, like specific groups on Facebook or something,
yeah.
I'm not in there a lot. Like I'm checking in on some things, but I'm not like living and dying by comments and posts. I don't know. I get sucked in too easy, so I try to stay out of there.
Yeah. Well, for me, I definitely feel more like myself in the real world. So I guess offline, is what you would say there.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I can just go, blah, and just let it fly, let it rip. And Twitter is my main really online presence where I might communicate with the world. And I feel like whenever I'm composing something there, I'm overthinking what I'm writing, Like,
So it's not authentically you.
Right. Exactly.
Because Matt would just spit it out there.
That's right.
But Twitter Matt is like, let's polish this up.
Yeah, I could craft a better tweet. What am I doing?
There you go. Matt, KFC is bringing chicken nuggets to the menu.
I feel like that's something they should have already. Maybe did they have chicken strips?
They had popcorn chicken that's been on and off the menu since 1992.
KFC's chicken nuggets incoming.
It was supposed to be like a special thing. Chicken nuggets are coming because Gen Zers who refuse to eat chicken off the bone. But my theory here is it's a whole generation who ate nothing but chicken nuggets. Of course, KFC is going to offer chicken nuggets, right?
I don't know. Did you not eat chicken McNuggets as a kid, or?
I did, but it wasn't like the every meal. Like my kids will only eat chicken nuggets. Like my kids are friends with those kids. My kids were not the chicken nugget, and we didn't have chicken nuggets at home. Does that make sense?
Yes, I was about to say the same thing. Chicken McNuggets, sure, had those a decent bit as a kid, but I'm not sure I can recall ever having chicken nuggets at home, homemade or frozen or otherwise. Maybe it's a more recent invention, like I've talked before about how it seems like McDonald's is still the only place that's figured out how to incorporate the syrup into the pancake itself,
Mm-hmm.
So maybe McDonald's was the only one for a long time that knew how to do Nugget Technology. right? Maybe.
No, because Wendy's has good nuggets. Chick-fil-A has good nuggets.
But when did they develop those, do you think? Do you know? Chick-fil-A is a fairly recent restaurant, right? McDonald's has had the Chicken McNugget since at least the 80s, right? Mid-80s? Early 80s, maybe even?
At least the 80s, yeah.
When you and I grew up.
Yeah. But we didn't have chicken nuggets at home. Like, if you didn't like what you were eating, you weren't able to eat. You didn't eat. So there's a whole generation of like, my kids just eat chicken nuggets or butter and noodles.
Do you think that's because there's more working parents that need faster food options, and so those thus proliferated as a deal? It's pretty easy to make chicken nuggets, yes?
Right. And you remember the Swans. I always wish we had Swans chicken nuggets. Like when the Swans truck would drive by, we're like, oh, I wish we could have Swans. And my mom's like, are you kidding me? I'm making food and you're asking for frozen food? Yeah, but chicken nuggets is a staple to always have in my freezer. But we didn't go through like the kids ate chicken nuggets every night. And maybe not for like the busyness, but for like their picky palates. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I remember seeing those trucks in the neighborhood as well as a kid and being like, damn, those people are rich.
Right? That's exactly when I saw the Swans man stopped at your house. I was like, oh, they're rich.
Schwans, Schwan, also known as the Schwan Food Company.
Did I say Swan?
Yeah, you said Swan. I just wanted to,
all right.
I wanted to preempt the flood of emails and Facebook messages we would receive if we didn't correct that. I wasn't trying to.
Kate's an idiot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Usually we get the Matt's an idiot messages. I wanted to spare you those because they hurt, Kate.
Oh, now. We don't get those.
By the way, find Matt and Kate on Facebook and let us know in all the various different things that we're incorrect about. We love feedback, negative and positive. So bring it.
Bring it.
Or neutral feedback. That's fine too.
Neutral's good.
Yeah.
Neutral's good.
Whatever.
Rob Zombie. Munsters movie. Have you heard anything about it?
No, I have not, unfortunately. What have I missed?
I feel like there's a whole lot of press about this Rob Zombie Munster movie, and they recreated the house, and his wife is Lily Munster, and it's, Rob Zombie loves a good horror movie, but he also loves comedy, and all of this spin. I think they were supposed to start before the pandemic, and maybe the pandemic kind of pushed it back a little bit, but now it's going straight to Netflix instead of the theaters as planned.
Bummer.
You know what's already on Netflix?
I give up.
The Addams Family.
The movie?
And the cartoon.
What about the original TV show?
No.
Okay.
But they both were like competitors. They ran against each other on network TV from 1964 to 1966. So now they're competing again. Netflix. Rob Zombie's Munsters and the Addams Family series. Wednesday.
Fight.
Yeah. But I watched the trailer for Rob Zombie's Munsters. It is terrible. It looks awful. For as much buildup as they gave it, it looks cheesy.
Is that the point? Is it supposed to be tongue-in-cheek?
I didn't think so. I thought it was supposed to be Rob Zombie Munsters.
So you're not here for that?
No.
Okay.
I was going to give it a shot. I watched the trailer and then like, woof. That's 3 minutes I'll never get back.
Yeah. They've rebooted the Smurfs, right? They reboot the Smurfs. Has there been a recent Smurfs deal?
In the last 5 years.
Okay. The reason I mention this is because I watched some of the Smurfs, the old Smurfs on HBO Max over the weekend. Started with season 1, episode 1.
How was that?
Pretty good, actually. I was impressed.
Really?
Yeah. We were talking about how I would appreciate being a He-Man action figure. I think that'd be fun. But when I watch old episodes of He-Man, they keep using they use like the same shots over and over and over again. He-Man running through the whatever scenery. It's always the same exact animation of He-Man running, or Tila, or Man-at-Arms. They reuse the same assets so much. Like, oh, there we go. Here comes He-Man running again. Just didn't seem like they tried very hard. But when I was watching the Smurfs, Like, damn, this is some good animation, especially season 1.
Yeah, Smurfs: The Lost Village, the last reboot was 5 years ago, 2017.
The Smurfs.
Demi Lovato, Julia Roberts, Rainn Wilson, Mandy Patinkin, Meghan Trainor, all voices in Smurfs: The Lost Village.
Okay, well, I'm on the Smurfs Wikipedia now, and I see the Smurfs 1981 to 1989, which is the one I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But they also list the Smurfs 1961 to 1967. Weird. Okay. French? Looks like it's French. Okay. Wow.
Papa Smurf.
Let's hear your impersonation of a French Papa Smurf, Kate.
Ooh la la, oui oui.
Damn, that was good.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I could have gone with the
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, let's play a game of, is it Cajun Papa Smurf or is it French Papa Smurf?
Right? Cajun is French, you know.
Yeah.
Matt, Billie Eilish really wants you to join her in New Zealand and Australia for her concerts.
Wow, I'm flattered. Me specifically?
Yes.
Wow.
But only if you're registered to vote.
Get registered to vote. Billie Eilish will bring you on stage.
Well, she will pay for your trip to New Zealand and Australia to see her concerts there. So you have to enter the contest by registering to vote. And then you go to headcount.org/Billy and she'll enter you to win this trip to New Zealand and Australia.
So do we count since we're already registered?
I think so.
Okay.
She only wants you if you're registered to vote.
We have to upload proof of registration or something?
All you have to do is register to vote or check your registration status.
Interesting. It's fun that they're still doing all the Rock the Vote stuff. Remember Rock the Vote?
Yes.
MTV?
Yup.
Now the celebs are doing their individual Rock the Vote due to the power of the internet and such. Rock it.
The power of the internet.
Get out there, vote. Participate in democracy before it's too late. Saw that there is a maturity label coming to TikTok, Kate.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, in an effort to prevent potentially disturbing or, quote, overtly mature material from reaching users under the age of 18, TikTok will begin adding content scores to videos, similar to like ratings used in film, TV,
right,
and gaming industry. Do you let your kids use TikTok unsupervised?
I let them watch the TikToks that my sister sends us.
Okay.
So we are not on TikTok.
Oh, because your sister sends you really, really dirty stuff. Gotcha.
No. She sends things for me, and then she sends things for the kids.
She sends you some pretty raunchy stuff?
No, not raunchy. I shouldn't say boring because I appreciate them, but it's boring to my children. Like home organization or like tips in the kitchen or stuff like that. Things I never knew.
Not dance maneuvers?
No. Nope. The girls usually, she sends stuff about animals or maybe some of the books that they like. She'll send TikToks that have to do with that stuff. But no, never anything that I'm worried, oh, that's inappropriate.
Don't want to, break the children.
I mean, there's enough of that on Netflix.
Netflix is cracking down on the password sharing, right? We talked about this a while back. They've already started doing it in other countries now. We're like, you've got an additional household using this. And it reminded me a few weeks back at the lake, friends of mine were over and they told their little one who, I hope I don't mess this up. I guess she's 7 or 8.
Okay.
Like, oh yeah, you can go downstairs and watch your show. And I was like, how was she able to go downstairs and watch her show? I didn't see her carrying an iPad or anything like that. And They're like, oh, no, Steven's Netflix is still logged in from when he was here last year. I was like, oh, okay. And now I'm curious how much longer that's going to last, because eventually Netflix is going to come for the United States people.
Yeah, what happens? Do they just disconnect one or both houses? Or
the article that I read in the past said basically you're using Netflix at multiple locations and we'll start charging you X number of dollars more if you want to maintain those additional households.
Oh.
Not that they would double the cost of your plan, but that they would charge some amount of money to allow you to continue sharing your password that way.
Yeah, because my mom's basement TV is hooked up to our Netflix.
I imagine a lot of it probably has to do with, well, does your mom binge a lot of stuff on Netflix?
Not downstairs. Does that count?
Well, I don't know. Is your account logged in upstairs?
No.
Oh, okay. That's probably fine. My guess is, because people go on vacation and should be allowed to log into their Netflix.
Right.
But if you're logged into Netflix at X location and Y location and watching things at both locations often, they'll figure it out and be like, you're not on vacation. Let me see what you're up to.
So if it's just like excessive use.
That's my guess.
Gotcha.
Because you want to be able to go to an Airbnb or Vrbo or whatever the hell and be able to log into your Netflix and watch. But that said, someone told me recently they went to Airbnb and there were like 10 different accounts logged in or something.
Oh.
It's like, you probably want to log out of that, right? At the very least, you don't want to mess up your recommendation score.
Yes, you don't want people to be like, because you watch this, now we're recommending all of these shows.
Yeah. You ruined my algorithm. No. My recommended for you section has been ruined because I couldn't be bothered to log out at the Airbnb. Pour one out for my finely tailored Netflix algorithm. Is what one might say.
Is what one might say.
Yeah.
Matt, there's a restaurant in Australia going viral because they're serving a beer ramen drink on their menu.
Oh, God. All right. Yeah. So what's that?
It's a beer with ramen noodles. It's chilled, and it's often paired with salmon or caviar or chicken and waffles.
What a diverse food group.
Yes.
Huh.
So I was like, oh, it's a white. And then chicken and waffles.
So would you at least smell this item or no?
I would smell this item for sure.
For the unfamiliar, Kate is willing to smell lots of foods, but not so much necessarily eat them.
Right.
Same thing with beverages.
And people are very kind. They're like, you can take a drink. And I'm like, no, I just want to smell it. Thank you.
So refrigerate, yeah, that sounds better than, like making hot ramen with beer.
Right.
So, all right, sure.
So it's served chilled. Beer ramen. I'll have 2 of those. Ugh. I don't know.
You like ramen at all?
I like ramen, but I don't know that I want it in my beer. Is it a chicken ramen? Is it a beef ramen?
Do you have a favorite between those two?
I definitely lean towards chicken. Creamy chicken is my favorite, but those are hard to find.
Do you ever go to a ramen restaurant?
Oh, I have only been once. And it was not like somebody else ordered. It wasn't a ramen restaurant, but they had ramen there. And somebody that we were with ordered it. And I had a bite. It was very lovely.
Okay.
I feel like I'm going to upset people when I say it just looked like ramen soup.
Yeah, like you could just pour hot water into like the thing you get from the grocery store.
Yeah. I was like, why is this so expensive?
Yeah, I've never had that. Never had professional ramen before. But after you had it, do you go, well, this is okay, but it would have been better if it were a beer.
You know what's missing here? Alcohol.
Yeah. A little alcohol makes the ramen go down. Your kids into ramen? Do your kids like ramen?
Ellie loves ramen. Elliot asks for ramen all the time.
Yeah, my nephew Thatcher's really into ramen too, and it kind of blows my mind.
Yep. And she, instead of doing it in the microwave like I did it, she likes to get out the electric kettle and boil the water and
how sophisticated.
pour it on the noodles. Yes.
Wow, that's great.
And she takes it out of the package.
What do you think it is? Is it the sodium content?
Probably.
I would never imagine being a 10-year-old and eating ramen. It just does not sound right to me.
Oh, I loved ramen as a kid.
Did you really? It doesn't, like...
I did.
In the same sense, it doesn't seem like it's that removed from what mac and cheese is.
But I don't like it as soup. I like it drained.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I just like the noodles. Mm-hmm.
Well, can't you just use less water?
Yeah, I mean, but I always do it in the microwave.
Oh, okay. So
you can boil it and everything, and then you drain it, and then you put the seasoning on, and then you mix it. But I've tried to offer, like, shredded chicken. Like, hey, I've got some chicken. Let's have that with your ramen. And Elliot's like, can I just have it separate? I don't want the chicken in the ramen. I was like, okay, whatever.
Judging her.
Eat the protein.
Like, you really should be mixing the two. You're kind of blowing it, but all right, if you're going to eat the chicken on the side, that's good enough.
Yep.
Fine.
But she's also my rice eater, too. Finley's not a big rice or noodle eater. Like, when we do spaghetti, Finley definitely wants more sauce than she wants noodles.
Interesting.
Yeah, when we have chicken and rice, or when we go to Chipotle, she does not want the rice.
I could see the rice thing scaring away kids, but pasta I would not have expected.
No.
Well, if that's the worst way she disappoints you, then you're in good shape.
We're in great shape.
Yeah. All right, Kate, from time to time we like to give our listeners ammunition for, if they want to try to convince their boss to let them work from home.
Mm-hmm.
Castle, Kastle, who keeps track of office spaces, like available office space, And so pre-pandemic, looking at this graph, it is nearly 100% offices occupied. And then it plummeted down to what looks like 20-ish% shortly after the pandy began. And then more recently in 2022, it's leveled out, but still below 50% of offices are occupied. Now, keep in mind, that's a lot of big cities. It would include like New York City and LA and things like that, which were some of the ones to lock down. But either way, you're looking at half the number of occupied offices than you had pre-pandemic. And so I wanted to let the listener know, hey, you can go to your boss and say, I should be able to work at home, I mean, come on, look at this chart from Castle, spelled Kastle.
Like, come on.
Let me work from home. There's so many places where it's like, nope, you got to come back to work. And the workers are like, well, you know what? There's lots of jobs out there. See ya. Bye-bye.
Right?
That might be enough of a bargaining chip already. You save on, your company does save on money if you're able to work from home. But a lot of bosses are really dumb and can't comprehend the idea of someone being able to get their work done without their boss breathing on them. I need to be around so that they know.
Good thing we don't work there.
At that particular place, yeah, you're right. That boss sounds like a total tool.
Good thing we don't work there.